Okay, so we're gonna go for a little car drive. If I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I'm being a safe driver. But I was gonna have a car talk with myself anyway. I tell people all the time, if you see me in the car and I'm talking, more than likely I'm talking to myself. Every here and then, I might be on the phone, but majority of the time, I'm literally processing my thoughts, especially when I don't have my daughter. So one of my classmates from high school, she is in the wellness community. And that's a community that I resonate the most with, and that I find myself yearning to be in when it comes to a profession. And she sends out emails every so often, and I read them, and I enjoy them thoroughly because it gives me a different perspective, because she's literally living a life of rest. And when we think about rest, we think about naps. And it's like, I know for me personally, I love a good nap, but I realize that a lot of times naps are just escapism for me. Like, I literally took a nap just now, and I woke up and I realized that all the things that I need to do still have to be done. I think that taking a nap sometimes helps you to relieve the anxiety, and it gives your body a chance to just be still. But I think it's not talked about how when we treat ourselves to self-care, which is important, a lot of times we don't recognize that the more and more that we do these things that are genuinely escapisms, the more and more we add to the pile of stuff that we have to do. And I've been telling myself, like, just 30 minutes, just 15 minutes, just 10 minutes. And it's like, basic things just feel very overwhelming. And I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts. If you've listened to some of my videos, you already know. It's the For the Healthy Hoes. And one of the co-hosts was talking about how, like, she went to the store and she cried. And she was literally like, the most basic things just felt difficult. And I found myself, like, wanting to do so many things all at once. And it's like, it's just not realistic. And even if it is realistic, it's like, you're doing so many things. Like, are you really mastering one thing? And why is it so hard to master one thing? Like, we live in a culture, like, where we overconsume or we underconsume. It's never, like, a balance. And I feel like I was thinking about when I was in school and how, like, I literally had, like, 7 to 8 classes in high school. I had 4 to 5 classes in college. And then I was working. But even with all that going on, I was still able to manage it. And I was asking myself, why? And it was because I had a syllabus. I had a structure of, we're not going to read the whole book in one day. We're going to take 4 to 5 months to process all of this information. And I felt like that's so real, because I feel like I saw a TED Talk a while back, and it was like, you're trying to do too many things at once. Like, when you were in school, your professor never said to you, we're going to read chapter 1 through 5 in 1 week. Or even if they did, they structured it in a way where hopefully you were able to take little bite sizes every so often to be able to process the information. And I want to process so many things. And a part of that is because I just am very mentally stimulated. I like intellectual things, which is great. But it's like, in order for intellectual things to stick, it has to be quality over quantity. And I feel like, especially being a mom, like, I think about the fact that, like, every single day I have to put somebody's needs and wants over mine. And that's a part of just a sacrifice of parenthood. But you get to a point where it's like, you just feel like you're just existing just to be these things for this person who can't do it for themselves. But also because a lot of times, like, I feel like I'm learning, especially with having elderly grandparents who have went through the process of trying to figure out how to be independent after losing their independence, whether it's through physical or medical issues. It's all about taking the steps to be able to do that. And I realize, even being a mom, like, while I am responsible for this little life, a lot of things she has to take step by step to be able to be independent in her own right. And that may not make sense, but I mean, like, when it comes to potty training, even though I'm putting in the effort to teach her, it's also on her to be able to take step by step. Okay, I have to go to the bathroom. Okay, where's the toilet? Okay, let me pull down my pull-up. You know, it's still a step-by-step process. And I feel like as simple as that sound, it's so complex because it's like, okay, like, it's step-by-step, but I want to rush it. It's step-by-step, but I don't feel like doing it. I'm not motivated today, but really I just need to have discipline because every day I won't be motivated. And I feel like I really just want to go into this world and just conquer everything all at once, and that's not real. There's a peace in going with the ebbs and flows of life, but also having some type of structure to say, you know what, I don't feel like doing today, but it's not really about what I want to do, it's about what I need to do. And as I'm making this video, I realize that I am making a video, but the video that I really have on my heart, baby, I've been procrastinating like a mother trucker. And it's like, it's not a bad thing entirely, because when it's meant to come to its fruition, it will. But it's also like, it's because I'm putting it off. The ideal is still there, but the ideal is not a reality because I'm not putting in the proper work to make it a reality. And I keep telling myself, like, you work and you do things that have nothing to do with things that you really want to do, except for the income that you receive from it. So why can't you put in that investment into yourself? You know? I just feel just like, when do I start living? You know? I don't want to just live for 10 minutes. And I feel like that's sometimes a reality, especially of life and of motherhood. It's like, once you start going, you start going. Like, I'm grateful to be able to have taken a nap today. I'm grateful to be able to have had this car drive and be able to hear my thoughts and not hear a screaming toddler every 2 seconds say mom. But it's also part of me that's just like, that's just the reality of your life. You may only be able to have 10 minutes to yourself. So it's like, what can you do in those 2 minutes to feel like, even though you can't do everything that you want to do, you are doing something. And in due time, it'll come together. You may not be able to see the vision right now, but as time goes along, you'll see it. So when I exit this video, or when I turn it off, I'm going to do 10 minutes towards the video that I really want to do. And then I'm going to take my booty back home and be a mom. And do the things that I need to do, because I can't keep showing up to this world and expecting things to be better when I'm not doing anything consciously to be better. And I'm gonna end it with this. I was telling one of my friends, I miss being able to just have an ignorance is bliss type mindset. Like, not care or not know that I'm not caring. And I watch so many people talk about just being self-aware, about being conscious, about being intentional. And it gets to the point where it's like, dang, like, I just want to just go. Like, I don't want to have to think about, is this the right step, or should I be doing this? I just want to be able just to be. But now I was just like, no, like, there's a power in being able to say, like, I consciously thought about that. Oh, I'm over here. I consciously thought about that. Like, I didn't just dive into it. Like, I actually sat there and I processed it. Even like what I just said about the 10 minutes. It's like, I consciously said for 10 minutes, regardless of how I feel, I'm going to put this work in. I'm about to pull into the Food Line parking lot, do 10 minutes, do what I have to do also, go into the store and get what I have to get, and go back home and do what I have to do, be a mom, and tend to do the rest of my nightly duties. But I hope this was encouraging. I feel 1,000 times better, because when I got in this car, baby, I was about to explode. I felt like a balloon that had way too much helium in it, and it just needed just to decompress, and I feel a lot better.